seen many times, is little bruises about the size of a dime all over your body in different places. That's a reaction to the MSG.
Top ramen?
Top ramen, cup of soup, cup of noodle, TV dinners, canned
TV dinners?
soup. TV dinners. TV dinners are frozen foods that...
the ones for $1, right?
Right. When you freeze them for a long period of time, they lose their taste. And so when you thaw them out, they have to have a flavor enhancer to make it taste better, and that's the MSG.
Wow.
So MSG is something that, in my mind, should be illegal. A lot of people have reactions to it and aren't aware of it, like learning disorders, attention deficit. And you know, what amazes me is so many kids in school who have trouble reading, writing, and behaving in school, they live on top ramen. Another place where there's almost unlimited use of top ramen is in prisons. And there's a bunch of people who already are having problems behaving, and then it's like getting them drunk, you know, putting them on this chemical, this MSG, that can cause problems. So to go back over the list of things that cause chronic pain, number 1 is casein, which is in milk and dairy foods, cheese and all the things you love, ranch dressing, blue cheese, etc.
Wow.
Non-dairy foods like Cremora, Coffee Mate, and Cool Whip. Then the next one down is MSG, which we just talked about. It's a nerve toxin in processed foods. Most restaurants use it. Most Chinese restaurants use a lot of it. Anytime you get soup in a restaurant, you're going to get some MSG. After that, the next one is aspartame. Aspartame is an artificial sweetener found in all diet sodas, most diet sodas, in almost all chewing gum, and lots of diet foods. They call it NutraSweet or Equal. And after that, if you don't think that's hard enough to avoid, the next one, which only causes about 10 to 15% of chronic pain cases, is a protein, another protein called gluten. And I know a lot of you have heard about gluten now. Gluten is the main protein found in wheat, which is bread, pasta, cakes, cookies, crackers, all of the bready foods. Wheat. And a lot of people have problems avoiding that, but more and more people are seeing that it can cause problems. So if you can understand what we've been going over here, the diet is what causes most pain. And a lot of people think, well, that means I have to eat only organic food. I have to buy expensive foods. I have to be a vegan. I have to take expensive supplements. No, none of that is true. What we've done is just listed 5 specific substances that if all of the people who are the 47%ers who suffer with chronic pain would eliminate these 5 things, 90% of them would be pain-free. So again, that's casein in dairy foods, caseinate in non-dairy foods, chocolate, monosodium glutamate, aspartame, and gluten found in wheat. Now, a lot of you may have tried doing that and found out how difficult it is. I make no bones about it. It's very difficult to control your diet.
Chocolate is hard to control itself.
But what I explain in the book is that usually if you have a chronic problem, it's usually only 1 or 2 of these things that do it. But the way I describe my protein in my book, the program in my book called Chronic Pain Gone 90 Days, is the best way to do it is eliminate these specific things 100% for 90 days. You'll be pain-free, and then you can figure out which ones are triggering your problems. Now, after we got through with those substances, there's one more left, and that's medication. People should know that all medication is poison, and all of them can cause problems. If you watch the commercials on TV at night, you'll see the first 15 seconds is about how wonderful these pills are. And the last 45 seconds, they tell you all of the horrible things that can happen. And these days, the pills are so powerful. You've heard these things said on TV. Possible fatalities. Fatalities.
Right in front of your face.
Suicidal tendencies, etc., etc. So who would want to take those pills?
If that's a risk that you're taking.
Right.
How much do you really want those pills?
And then I have some good news in the book, and that is, if you've followed the program for 90 days, the good news is most likely you can go back to eating some of these foods again, and you may not have any problems. If you get back into regular use again, though, you're going to have some problems. So I'm going to have Ethan hold these cards up, and I'm going to explain each one while he holds it up. First of all, the most common cause of pain is this substance right here, and that's casein.
Casein.
Casein is the main protein found in milk and dairy foods. Now, casein also includes, we're doing a reverse Bob Dylan skit here. The cards are flowing into Bob Dylan's hand, Ethan's hand. Okay, the next one is caseinate, which is in non-dairy foods like coffee creamers, Cool Whip, IMO, protein shakes, etc. Protein shakes.
Protein shakes?
Protein shakes have, you know, let me take an aside here. A lot of people who work out a lot,
I'm one of them.
they think that they got to take protein shakes because if you eat a high protein food, it's going to go into your body, it's going to turn right into muscle, and you're going to be buff. Nothing could be further from the truth. Everything that you consume, is broken down into a carbon skeleton, and your body builds what it needs. The whole notion that if you eat a lot of protein, it's going to help you is absolutely not true. The other problem,
thought that was true.
The other problem with protein shakes is if you look at the ingredients, there's a long list of ingredients, all chemical substances, and usually sodium caseinate, right there, is one of the first, second, third, or fourth ingredients, which is the milk protein. Another substance, which will be the second, third, or fourth ingredient, is protein isolate. Go ahead and look at your protein shake and you'll see that right there. That is a form of the next substance we're about to talk about, which is MSG.
MSG, my friends.
MSG is monosodium glutamate. That's in protein shakes. It's in canned soup, top ramen. Now, one thing I didn't mention is processed meats, like sausage, hot dogs, tuna fish, chorizo, most canned tuna, chorizo,
tuna,
kielbasa, all of those things have other names that mean MSG. And if you'll read my book, and if you do a search on the internet, you'll also see the same thing. MSG is hidden under lots of other names. And so you got to learn those. Hydrolyzed proteins, natural flavors, yeast extract, autolyzed yeast.
Natural flavors?
Natural flavors. So it's everywhere.
Wow.
In fact, in 1997, I wrote a book, and it's on the internet too. You can find it. It's called MSG is Everywhere, because it's everywhere. The most powerful cause of pain, Ethan's going to hold this up.
This is 2012, and MSG is still affecting people today.
Yeah, it's more widely used than ever. And this is the one that breaks everybody's hearts.
Chocolate.
The most powerful cause of pain is chocolate.
Chocolate. I want you guys to think about that for a second. How much do you really want chocolate?
And here's the next one, aspartame. Aspartame is NutraSweet, equal. It's in diet sodas. It's in all chewing gum. It's widely used. It's a neurotoxin. It should be illegal.
I just ate gum today.
Yeah, but it's there. The next one, take notes on this, ladies and gentlemen, is gluten. Gluten is the main protein found in wheat, which is bread, pasta, cakes, cookies, crackers. And the next one, which hopefully not many of you are taking, are cholesterol pills. I want to take a minute and talk about cholesterol pills. If you look at the commercials on TV, most of them are cholesterol pills. Zocor, Lipitor, Mevacor, Provocol,
all those?
Crestor, Vytorin, there's a ton of them. Zetia, Gemfibrozil, there's a ton of them. And ladies and gentlemen, the overuse of those pills is causing so many problems. The most common symptoms from cholesterol pills are leg weakness, leg cramps, restless legs, numbness in the legs, numbness in the feet, lower back pain, upper back pain, and another one that there's a book written by a doctor named Graveline. His book is called Side Effects to Statin Drugs. He talks about global transient amnesia, which means the loss of your memory caused by cholesterol pills. Nobody should ever take them. And then the last thing right here, that's my email address. In case anybody ever wants to contact me, ask me questions, notify me, tell me how they're doing. That's my email address, drtwogood@aol.com. There's a ton of more information I'd like to give you, but Ethan's going to edit this thing down to a link that won't bore you, and you can learn from this information. I'd really like everyone to get a copy of the book. Again, you can show them the copy of the book,
which is Chronic Pain Gone, 90 Days.
And you can get it anywhere, Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, at my webpage, which is the title of the book, which is www.chronicpaingone90days. The information is out there. You know, the information in and of itself is not going to help you. What's going to help you is you assimilating the information and then acting on it.
Applying the knowledge.
In fact, the first chapter of my book is the 10 things to do to get rid of chronic pain, and the first one is the most important, and it's called Do It Now. you know, if you join a gym, if you buy a gym membership, that doesn't do anything for you. If you buy one of those fabulous machines like a Bowflex machine, that machine doesn't do anything for you. You have to get on that machine. You have to go to the gym. You have to put your clothes on. You have to do something. So you can read this information in the book, and if you don't follow it, it's not going to do you any good.
Doing nothing's going to get you nowhere.
Right. So, and you've got to realize, if you're one of those 47% who have problems, if you keep going to the same doctors over and over and over again, you're going to get the same results. You've got to realize that if you want something to change, you have to change something. You have to act. And the most powerful way to do that is by changing what you put in your body. So to give you the book report on the book, the 10 things to do are, number one, or the 3 things to do, and there are 7 things to not do. We showed you the 7 things not to do, and that means specific substances: dairy foods, chocolate, MSG, aspartame, gluten, and the one I didn't mention is cigarette smoking. The reason I mentioned cigarette smoking is because we all know it's unhealthy, right? But I want you all to do a really entertaining thing. Go on the internet and Google ingredients in cigarettes. You'll see a list of 599 substances.
Wow.
There's like 3 pages of A's, and you can't pronounce any of them. But significantly to me, as far as pain, cigarettes contain milk solids, cigarettes contain chocolate, and cigarettes contain MSG. So cigarette smoking is one of the things to not do. The three things to do, as a matter of fact, if you just do the 3 things to do, you'll get rid of your chronic pain. And they are this: number 1, do it now, which means you have to act. Number 2, move a lot. That means walk, move, exercise any way you want, but move a lot.
Stay active.
So you see, the 2 things to do are not that hard. The third one is eat only the following foods. And they are fruits, vegetables, rice, beans, eggs, unsalted nuts, oatmeal, grits, and what should you drink, ladies and gentlemen? Water. And you can eat meat as long as it's
What about
pure.
juice?
Juice is fine. That's a fruit, actually. And you can eat meat. You can eat all the meat you want as long as it's pure meat. If you go to the grocery store and go to the butcher counter, all of that meat in there is just pure meat, right? Steaks, hamburger, chicken, fish, turkey, pork, it's all fine. But if you go to the deli counter at the front of the store where they have salami, bologna, pastrami, that's all meat that's been chemicalized and treated with chemicals. So if you stay with pure meat and all the other foods I mentioned, and then move a lot and do the program, you'll get rid of chronic pain.
And this is Dr. Twogood, and this is author Ethen Carroll, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this interview, and I hope that you guys are able to implement some of the strategies that we discussed, and look for more interviews from author Ethen Carroll. And thank you for your time, Mr. Twogood.
Thank you, Ethan. It was great.
Alrighty.
Okay.